What up? What up? What up? Welcome to Lair Game episode 163. This is the average man's perspective on football. As you can see, we look a little bit light tonight, but hopefully, we have some people joining us soon. So we'll just start with two of us. I am your co-host Marcus. I'll explain to you later. I'm being very petty. I'm being very petty right now. I'll explain to you later. Next up, we got Herman. Say what up, Herman.
Hey. I'm just laughing because I can't even imagine what the heck that's about. I think I can actually, though, so I don't know.
You probably might be thinking right. Say what up, Herman.
Oh, hey.
You are a hater.
And here we go with Eddie Kane Jr. Late as usual. We got Brian. Say what up, Brian.
Thank you for joining us.
When did we get white leg game shirt?
They coming to see me. They coming to see the Temptations. Ain't nobody coming to see you, Otis.
We're going to start finding your ass, okay?
Why?
We want you here 15 minutes before showtime. And when did you get a white leg game shirt?
We got these the first time around.
I don't have a white leg game shirt.
Yeah, you do.
I don't got one.
I can find mine.
Yeah, y'all have them. Y'all just forgot about them.
Wow. They must really. Us projects still fit that.
It's a struggle. It's a struggle.
Yeah, I think I see.
Look, not out in public, but.
Before we get started, I want to encourage everyone to like, share, and subscribe, especially if you're watching on YouTube. You can catch us on Facebook and our Facebook group, The Lair Game. We're on X at The Lair Game 3, on Instagram at The Official The Lair Game. And like we announced last week, we are now part of the Big Blue Crew Sports Network. They're a YouTube channel that hosts a bunch of different programs like ours. They cover all forms of sports, not just football, boxing, UFC, baseball, basketball, college football. They do it all over there. So going over there to Big Blue Sports Crew Network and check them out. You'll see us and a bunch of other content creators. And who's hosting tonight? Did we say?
It's going to be me.
Herman is hosting tonight. Go ahead and start us off, Herman.
All right. Thanks, everybody, for joining. Appreciate it. We're going to hit y'all off with some NFL news, roll into some hot topics. We'll discuss a few things. We're going to review last week's games, and then we're going to pick this week's games. We'll give you our final thoughts for the week, and we'll get you up out of here. So with that being said, Marcus, why don't you go ahead and start us off with the first news story?
Sure. The Las Vegas Raiders midseason coaching overhaul includes adding longtime NFL coach Norv Turner to the mix.
Norval.
Said Norv. Okay. The ex-Raiders head coach will return to the team as a senior advisor, the team announced on Tuesday. In addition, Turner's son Scott has been promoted from pass game coordinator to interim offensive coordinator, and Joe Philbin is not an interim offensive line coach. Vegas fired offensive coordinator Luke Getsby, quarterback coach Rich Scangarello. What he just said. And offensive line coach James Craig following Sunday's blowout loss to Cincinnati Bengals. A two-time Super Bowl winning coordinator in Dallas, Norv Turner helmed the Raiders in 2004 and 2005 under the late owner Al Davis. He compiled a 9-23 record over those two seasons. In 15 NFL seasons as a head coach, Turner compiled a 114-122-1 record with Washington, Oakland, and San Diego. One of the most respected offensive minds in the NFL, Turner will help fill the void left by the trio of assistants fired by Coach Antonio Pierce. The 17-year-old Turner hasn't held an NFL gig since working as a special assistant to the head coach with the Carolina Panthers in 2019, following his stint as OC with the club.
His best work was done with the Washington squad.
What? As a head coach, you mean?
Sarcasm. Come on.
Okay, I'm like, wait a minute. All right. Oh, goodness. All right. I'm going to take the next news story. The Dallas Cowboys acquired wide receiver Jonathan Mingo and a 2025 seventh-round pick from the Carolina Panthers for a 2025 fourth-round pick before Tuesday's trade deadline. Mingo, a second-round pick in 2023 out of Mississippi, has 12 receptions for 121 yards this season. He has one catch in the past 4 games and has only 2 games in his career with more than 4 catches. In Carolina, Mingo was behind the 2024 first-round pick Xavier Leggett, undrafted rookie Jalen Cocker, and 2017 seventh-round pick David Moore, despite the hamstring injury sustained by Adam Thielen and the trade of Deontay Johnson. Another genius move by the best GM in the league. Jerry Jones, what a dumbass.
Hey man, this is a family show.
Not anymore. Brian.
All right. On a lighter note, Detroit's Lions safety Brian Branch apologized Wednesday for flipping off Lambeau Field crowd following his ejection during the Sunday's 24-14 win over the Green Bay Packers. Branch said, "That's not something that I wanted to show or want people to notice me as that. That was just the heat of the moment for me, and I apologize to everyone who's seen that, and that won't happen again." Branch was kicked out for a late helmet-to-helmet hit in the second quarter on Packers wide receiver Bo Melton. After Melton dropped Jordan Love's pass, Branch hit Melton on the sideline, drawing a flag for unnecessary roughness. The play was reviewed, and Branch was ejected from the game.
Wow, they ejected him off of one personal foul?
It was pretty blatant.
Was it?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Well, that's the news.
And thanks for stopping by.
And we apologize.
Yeah. What the sound effect said? All right.
Oh, God. We created a monster.
I know.
Get the old one back where it doesn't work all the time.
Right.
Now, how is that a song for an NFL show?
I'll explain it to you. I'm being very petty right now.
He's being petty right now, so he's being petty. Whatever.
Okay.
What is today's date? November 6th. All right. We're gonna move into our hot topic. So at the beginning of the season, we always do our predictions, and I'm assuming whoever put this topic in, which is probably Marcus, we're gonna go over
It wasn't
our
me.
predictions. Oh, Brian, that was you?
Yeah, I put it in.
Okay, so you're talking about our predictions for like division winners and stuff like that, right?
Yeah, whatever you feel. I mean, it can be
Yeah.
the prediction winner, it can be record, it can be who you thought was going to do well, who you didn't expect to do well that's doing well.
All right, so I'll let you start, Brian. What's your best prediction and what's your worst prediction?
So, of course, my best prediction was the Buffalo Bills. I did predict them to go 14-3. Right now, they are still on pace to do that. They are destined to win that division by a mile. And, of course, my worst prediction is probably going to be between the Falcons. No, it's the Vikings. It's the Vikings. I had the Vikings going 3-14. And like Herman's been eating crow, I'm going to have to eat a little crow on that one, too. So the Buffalo Bills and the Vikings.
All right, so I'll go next. So I'm going to give you my worst prediction. This is bad. I'm just looking at it. Was basically the entire NFC.
Yeah,
like no joke.
Yeah, there were a lot of them I could have picked in the NFC. You're right, Herman.
I got Green Bay going 11-6 and winning the division. Now they could still go 11-6, but I don't think they're going to win the division this year. That looks like that's going to
The Lions.
The Lions. And then Brian, I've been eating crow all year about Minnesota. I had them 4-13. Don't even say anything else on that one. Oh man, here's another one. NFC, New Orleans, 10-7, winning the division.
I don't know what you was thinking with
Yeah. Atlanta, 8-9. That's not going to happen either. NFC East. Cowboys winning the division at 11-6. Commanders at 7-10. Well, the Commanders are already at 7 wins, so I'm going to need them to lose 8 more to even get close to that one. All right. NFC West. Rams at 11-6, winning the division. That could possibly still happen. San Francisco at 11-6, second in the division. Seattle 7-10. But Arizona at 6-11. So, I was way off on that one. So, those are my bad ones. I'm just going to give you the bad ones. Those are the bad ones from the NFC. The AFC, I'm going to say my best was, and it's sad because these were probably the easiest too, was the Kansas City Chiefs. I got them at 13-4. They're way on pace for that. And then I had the Houston Texans winning. I have the Houston Texans winning division at 11-6. That's likely to happen too. Again, I've been saying this since the beginning of the season. This is the bizarro year of the NFL. You always get these weird years. Weird stuff happens. I hate doing these predictions. Like next year, we might have to change the format. I don't even want to do these predictions anymore.
Next year, I want to stay away from records. I just want to pick who wins the ranking in divisions. Because I go too far with the games.
I done told you about them. Yeah, I done told you about the wins and losses.
I just want to do who wins the divisions and ranking in the divisions. I don't want to do.
But y'all are missing the spirit of it. It's just an exercise in futility. We all know injuries happen, players think. We have no idea, but I think it's just fun just to mess around with it, get a rough idea, and then see how good or bad we did later on in the season.
Yeah, I can still hate it. Marcus, what are yours?
Okay, so I'm going to preface this with I think I found my predictions from earlier this year. It looks like it was mine. I don't know for sure. So, do
you have somebody else making predictions on your computer, or
it's a thing? It's like going on my computer. So if you want to fact check me and go back and call me out, then that's feel free to do so. But I wasn't going to go back. I just put what I thought was there. So.
Time out. Does this one have Washington winning the division?
Yeah, because if it doesn't, that's not yours. Because I think you did. I'm pretty sure he picked Washington to win the division.
I did win the division. So if this is mine, I believe it is mine. I'm actually on the. I actually did pretty good. I got the NFC. I probably got the whole NFC pretty much right. I got the NFC North right. Lions right now at this point in the season. Lions, Vikings, Packers, Bears. NFC East, I actually got the Eagles number 1, Commanders and Cowboys and Giants, which is almost correct.
How did he have the Vikings, Herman? Didn't we have a whole conversation on how bad the Vikings were going to be?
Yeah,
I could have swore we were all on board on it. I think you were right. Fact check that.
This is my number 1. But I did have the Commanders winning the division.
Yeah, I remember the Commanders. I do remember you saying
either winning the division or you had them at least in the playoffs because we were laughing.
Yeah, I definitely had them at least in the playoffs. So I was close on that. I know I had the Giants as last, which pretty much going on. I think I had the Cowboys as third. So I know I had the Falcons winning the division right now. That is true. I had the Saints as last right now. That's true. I had the Cardinals and the Rams and the 49ers pretty much where they are. And then, so my worst prediction is probably not on predictions of the records and all. I was calling for CJ Stroud to be MVP this year. That's not going to happen.
Yeah,
I believe the Texans will still make a deep playoff run, but CJ is definitely not winning MVP this season. And I had Caleb winning rookie. Don't think that's going to happen. Actually, I think Jaden will win rookie. I had him win an offensive rookie of the year, but he will probably win rookie. And I had Watt winning defensive player of the year. Right now, I'm looking good on that one. But probably my worst one was.
I don't think you had Atlanta winning division. I can't see you picking Atlanta winning division.
I did. I had Atlanta winning
Cousins. Yeah,
I had Atlanta winning division
with Kirk Cousins.
Kirk Cousins.
Go back and
I thought you was all on the Baker thing because we discussed this. I remember because I was like the Saints. I thought that the Saints could jump over them. I don't remember you picking Atlanta.
I picked Atlanta.
Kirk Cousins.
I do. I picked them to win the division. I definitely picked them to win the division.
Yeah,
so I'm doing all right. I'm doing all right. Yeah, I think my worst one was MVP.
All right, let's get into the next hot topic because that one was like I said, it's just like Brian said, it's just a exercise in futility. All right, so now that the trade deadline has passed, and I changed this a little bit, Brian, but it's probably still the same for you. You still have the same answer, I'm sure. Which teams were the winners and which teams were the losers? Marcus, you want to start off?
For the trades, right? Yeah.
Trade deadline.
I mean, I think it's pretty obvious. I mean, they were already a winner, but I think it's pretty obvious. The Chiefs getting DeAndre Hopkins, I think it was definitely a win move. They They need a wide receiver. He's kind of old, but he's still decent, still good. He had 2 touchdowns on Monday night.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So once he gets integrated into the system, it seems like he's already integrated. That was definitely a win for them. They needed that with with the injuries they had, a wide receiver with Rice going out and Juju getting hurt. So they definitely needed it. And just the way the offenses are playing this season is not a typical Kansas City offense. And Patrick Mahomes, he almost had 300 yards. He had 2 touchdowns. So that definitely helped. Who I think lost, I don't want to say lost, but they lost out, is probably the Texans with Tank Dell getting hurt, and then with what's his name also going out. They should have been on the they should have probably been on the DeAndre Hopkins train or the Amari Cooper or somebody, because the way they've been playing, the way C.J. Stroud's been playing, they're definitely going to need it. And so I think they lost out by not grabbing a wide receiver, because the two that count on the most are both injured. So they're probably the losers. Even though I still think they'll be good, they'll make the playoffs.
Brian?
Yeah, Marcus, I like the Kansas City Chiefs one. I was really, really thinking about that one, but I'm going to go with Buffalo. I really like the Amari Cooper pickup. I think that Josh was having to do too much. I think that Amari opens up their running game. I think Josh now has somebody he feels comfortable to.
Did Brian just lock up?
Yeah.
He froze, Brian.
He froze.
Froze big conversation. So that's what happens. We don't get here on time. And work out these technical
Sorry.
Okay, he's back.
That joke's crazy. But I think that that they have they're going to have a good chemistry, and I think they have a good chance of going far in the playoffs. The one I think that's a loser, to be honest with you, is the Jets. I think going through all the turmoil, firing their coach, and then wanting to getting their wide receiver that they wanted. I think it's just a little too late. I just don't see them doing anything. I don't think Aaron is the quarterback that they thought they hired. I think they're doing all these things for Aaron, and I don't think Aaron's going to be able to deliver. So I'm going to go with the Jets.
All right. Well, I think my winner is going to be in Kansas City. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of a given that they've improved. But my winner, I think, is going to be the Steelers. I think they finally got a complimentary wide receiver in Mike Williams to team up with George Pickens. They got a pass rusher in Preston Smith. You don't usually see the Steelers making additions like this at the trade deadline. So it kind of tells you that I think that they're feeling pretty confident with Russell Wilson now. As I think he's finally their starter, even though he's never really been officially named their starter, I don't think. But, for them to add a couple pieces and to a team that wasn't, they're leading their division. Yeah, they're leading their division. I just think that they made themselves better. And now, are they a force to reckon with when it comes to Kansas City? That's still, to be seen, because Kansas City, they're top tier. They just keep finding ways to win. But I will say that they've now made themselves more dangerous, going at Pittsburgh. I mean, at Baltimore, because Baltimore's secondary was a little suspect, and their pass defense is a little suspect. So, yeah, I think the Steelers are the biggest losers. I mean, biggest winners. I'm sorry. And then the biggest losers. Yep, I'm crapping on them again. It's going to be the Dallas Cowboys. Because their front office is full of dumbasses who make stupid trades that just don't make any sense. Dak just went down with a possible, I think it's a partially torn tendon off the bone. So he's going to be out probably for the rest of the season. I thought it was a hammy. Yeah, it is. It's a tendon in his hammy that's torn off the bone partially. Yeah. It's a couple ways that you can deal with that. But anyway, why are you trading a 4th round pick for this sorry wide receiver who hasn't had more than 4 games with multiple catches? I get the CeeDee Lamb is hurt. Well, you got all these receivers that you go into the season with You didn't draft any receivers, so you go into the season with these receivers, Tolbert and Turpin and Flourney and all this that you claimed were wait till you see them and this and that, and then you go out and waste a 4th round pick on this crap ass receiver after your quarterback's already gone down. It's probably gone for the rest of the year. So you just wasted a 4th round pick. I mean, Jerry Jones, can you do anything dumber? Like, you just continue to do stupid stuff, and then you wonder why the fans are so ticked off about the moves that you make and hating you and the team right now. You should have held on to that 4th round draft pick and took it to next season with you, because this dude here is not going to do anything for your team, and you'll be claiming next year when the time comes, when you miss out on somebody in the 4th round, you'll say, well, we're happy with the guys that we have, and we look at Mingo, he's a draft pick, we already got him, so we know what he can do, and blah, blah, blah. The same old BS that you sell every year. And you wonder why the fans are pissed off and tired of your ass. So thanks again, Jerry. Number 1 loser once again at the trade deadline. You'd have been better off just sitting still and not doing anything, and you still have that 4th round pick. Dumbass.
Bruh.
All right. So those are our
just a quick rebuttal. Just a quick rebuttal. You do understand that he ain't had nobody to throw the damn ball to in the first place.
Brandon Cooks is coming
And
back.
he was like the 15th pick in the draft.
Cool.
So Mingo.
He was a 2nd rounder.
Yeah.
What's up, the
Not the
15th?
15th pick. He may have been the 15th wide receiver taken, but he wasn't the 15th.
39th.
pick.
I'm sorry, he's the 39th pick.
Yeah. He's still
So
trash.
That's not bad. That's not bad.
Brian,
for
he
a 4th round pick.
he couldn't beat out a seventh rounder and an undrafted dude. He was behind them on the depth chart. Now, whether you got trash going to you or not, he's behind us, and he's behind an undrafted.
Did you know who Mingo was before y'all traded for him?
Yeah,
No, you didn't.
I did.
You knew who a Carolina Panthers was. You were lying.
Right.
You were lying.
Liar. That's
liar.
you need a sound effect for that. You're
a
a liar.
sir. You didn't know who
Even if you did know who he was, he couldn't get past an undrafted and a 7th rounder. He could not jump past them on the depth chart. Come on. We were getting Brandon Cooks back. Tolbert was actually stepping up.
Brandon Cooks ain't did nothing.
Jerry claimed, neither has this dude. Jerry, and you didn't have to give up a 4th rounder to get
At least
Cooks
he's
back.
young and has upside. Brandon Cooks is old.
Does he
and has
really?
nothing.
He could be the 7th
The
rounder.
Chiefs got Hopkins for a 5th rounder.
Thank you.
Hopkins is old
A
too. I
freaking
don't want
future
no
Hall
old
of Famer.
receivers.
But he's a future Hall of Famer and went for a
Yeah,
5th
but not
rounder.
now.
You
You
could
gotta-
have got him for much. You could have got like a 10th round.
Yeah, you shouldn't have gave up nothing more than a 6th rounder for this dude. Like, for real, he can't jump the depth chart on an undrafted rookie. Nah, man, no way. You can't defend that this is anywhere close to being a good trade. This is typical
Y'all
Jerry
gave away
crap.
Amari Cooper for a 5th
I'm
round.
not saying. I'm just saying
Thank
it's not as bleak as you trying to.
It is.
paint the
It
picture
is
you're
as
trying to
bleak.
paint.
It is as
It's
bleak.
not.
It's very
It's not.
bleak. It definitely is. It definitely is.
Very sad, sir. Very sad.
It is, because it's just ridiculous. It's just a continuous cycle of Jerry Jones and the stupidity of the Dallas Cowboys front office at this point. And it ain't gonna get better doing stupid stuff like this. So, all right, so those are our hot topics. We're gonna go ahead and move into our games of the week that we picked last week. We're gonna review those games and go over who picked what, and then we'll move into this week's picks. So we're going to start off with the Thursday night game. Excuse me. We had the Houston Texans going into going into New York to take on the New York Jets. Surprisingly enough, the New York Jets won this one 21-13.
Wasn't surprising for me. Wasn't surprising.
Whatever. Aaron Rodgers was 22 for 32, 211 yards passing and 3 touchdowns. CJ Stroud on the flip side was 11 for 30, 191 yards passing. Rushing yards, Hall was 15 carries for 74 yards. And Mixon, 24 carries for 106 yards and 1 touchdown. Receiving side, Adams, 7 receptions for 91 yards, 1 touchdown. And Tank Dell, 6 receptions for 126 yards. Time of possession in this game went to the Texans, actually, 33 minutes, 42 seconds to 26 minutes, 18 seconds. Each team was penalized, had significant penalties. And Marcus, who'd you have in this one?
Well, I had the Texans. The Jets, they surprised me. They came to play. That much more the defense showed up. They had 8 sacks on C.J. Stroud causing the fumble, and they recovered the fumble. And finally, Rodgers and Devontae, they got on. They got in sync. I think was it 2 touchdowns that Devontae had?
1.
I think he said 1.
Yeah, it was okay. It was 1.
Garrett had an amazing touch.
Oh yeah. Garrett. So
yeah.
You know, they finally, the sun shines on the dog's ass every once in a while. So they finally did it. They finally got a win. They finally like a team that everybody thought they was going to be. But don't get too happy about it. It was 1 game, and the Texans just looked terrible. They got to fix their offensive line. Something's going on with the offensive line. C.J. Stroud was just running around like a chicken with his head cut off. Like I said, sacked 8 times. It was just bad. But I picked the Texans, and I was wrong.
Yeah, I picked the Texans in this one too, and like you said, Marcus, Stroud was sacked 8 times. So he was running for his life. And then it comes down to the fact that they didn't add anything at receiver, and with Diggs being out, you're gonna need another wide receiver. And then Schultz, their tight end. I mean, I don't even see him on the stat sheet, and he was supposed to be something for them. But myself, along with Mark, we both picked the Texans, and we did get this one wrong. One of the things that I will say about the Jets is they protected Aaron Rodgers this game. He was only sacked 2 times, so I think that was huge for them. I mean, when you look at the stat sheet, the Texans, they kind of, I don't want to say dominated, but they had more total yards, they had more first downs. I mentioned earlier time of possession, but those they even had more rush yards. But those 8 sacks, that played a big role in that. So yeah, I picked the Texans, and I did get this one wrong.
Yeah, CJ, he had no. He was just on the run the whole night. Just wasn't protected at all.
Don't cut it short.
No, definitely cut it short. Please cut it short. Oh my gosh.
I told y'all, man. I told y'all before. Y'all laugh. Oh, Brian, he's just picking these games to pick these games. I had a feeling. And with C.J. Stroud, like Herman said, without the receivers that he needed, it just seemed like it was an uphill battle for them all night long. Y'all guys already mentioned it, the 8 sacks. They were 1 for 4 zone, so that hurts you too. You get all the way down there, you don't get touchdowns. It's hard to win. It's hard to win these games. I'm not gonna boast and brag too much because I was nervous. I didn't think that the Jets were gonna pull it out, but they did finally get it in, and I needed this because I was tired of wearing that other hat every day. But it was a good game. And like Marcus said, Jets fans don't get all crazy. It was just 1 game. The Texans, I don't know. But Marcus brought it up too. That offensive line just had no protection. They couldn't run the ball. Again, they need receivers. So, and the defense ain't all that either. So, I don't know. They'll probably still win that division, but it's not going to be as easy as everybody thought it was going to be. So, I did pick this one correctly as usual.
All right, that's all you get. Let's move.
Why?
We press the time, sir. We press the time.
We not. We doing good. Go ahead, Herman. Start.
We can't hear you, Herman. Are you talking, Herman? We can't hear you.
Yeah, he's talking.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, I was muted.
He's waiting.
Go ahead. Get
He's
that
waiting.
other hat on. There we go. There we go. That's more like it, baby.
He's
That's
waiting.
more like it.
Back to back.
You
Back
know,
to back. Let's move on to the next game. We had the Miami Dolphins going into Buffalo to take on the Buffalo Bills. This one was a close one, but the Buffalo Bills pulled this one out 30-27. You know, I always say it. We all agree on it. When it comes to divisional games, doesn't matter what your record is because anybody can win on them games. Josh Allen was 25 for 39, 235 yards passing, 3 touchdowns, and 1 interception. James Cook rushed 10 carries for 44 yards. Leading receiver for the Bills was Davis, 2 receptions for 70 yards and 1 touchdown. On the flip side, Tua Tagovailoa was 25 for 28, 231 yards passing, 2 touchdowns. Leading rusher for Miami was Achane, 12 carries for 63 yards and 1 touchdown. And the leading receiver was the Tyreek Hill, 4 receptions for 80 yards. Time of possession in this game actually went to the Dolphins, 31 minutes, 53 seconds to 28 minutes and 7 seconds. Thanks. Miami had won this one on the first downs, 26 first downs to 24. And sacks, well, each team gave up 1 sack. So that's where we are with that. I'll start this one first, and I'll go myself and Mark. We both, knowing how this game was going to turn out, picked the Buffalo Bills. Interesting, Josh Allen, he put up really good numbers, and Amari Cooper, the wide receiver they just acquired, he didn't even play because of a wrist injury. But again, this game was close. Miami tried to come back in the end. They couldn't quite get the comeback finished. But Buffalo is definitely looking like a top contender in the AFC. It's going to be real interesting. With him putting up numbers like that. And then he didn't even have Cooper, who's supposed to be his number 1 target. So, yeah, Buffalo's looking dangerous. But myself and Mark, we did pick the Buffalo Bills, and we got it right. Marcus, I know who you picked, so go ahead and.
So you might as well just skip him.
No. I'm not going
No.
So yeah, of course, I also picked the Bills. Like I said, it was a very close game, but the Buffalo, they scored up to 14 in the third quarter and 10 in the fourth quarter. Miami's defense just kind of a little bit folded a little bit, and Miami even went into the half leading the game. It was just a very close game, like a division game. You can't really, those are always usually tough. But even with Tua back, Josh Allen, MVP candidate Josh Allen, probably low on the list, but still MVP candidate Josh Allen, pulled it out, and I was right.
And Brian, we all know who you had, but go ahead and let's hear
dummy.
why.
You big dummy, you big dummy, you big cold-blooded dummy, you big dummy, see what you did? Oh no, you big dummy.
I think there's too many big
No,
dummies.
it's just right about.
I think we should cut off like maybe 2
You
of
got
them.
spin it.
I did spin it. I spun it when I first put it on.
Spin.
It don't even spin that good.
Because you always wearing it.
That's right. You wore it out.
Wore it out.
So Miami outrushed the Bills 149 yards to 94. Herman already mentioned they won time of possession. And they had more total offensive yards, 373 yards to 325 for Buffalo. What they didn't have were the points. So this is why I have to wear this hat. I appreciate Josh Allen doing his thing. I mean, I do think that they are a good team. I did feel confident that I was going to be wearing the other hat twice, but it is what it is. I picked wrong, and I probably will pick against Buffalo again. So now.
But you love MVP
I
candidate
do like
Josh Allen.
I do like Josh Allen.
So you don't believe in Buffalo?
I do. I do. I'm just mad right now I wear this hat because they wasn't supposed to win.
You
right.
suck.
We're going to go ahead and move into the next game. We had the Los Angeles Rams traveling into Seattle to take on the Seattle Seahawks. The Rams won this one in overtime on a walk-off, 26-20. Matthew Stafford was 25 for 44, 298 yards passing, 2 touchdowns, and 1 interception. The leading rusher for the Rams was Kyron Williams, 22 carries for 69 yards. And the leading receiver was Cooper Kupp, 11 receptions for 104 yards. On the flip side, Geno Smith was 21 for 34, 363 yards, 3 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. Kenneth Walker III was 25 carries for 83 yards, and Smith Njigmu, I know I said that wrong, 7 receptions, 180 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Los Angeles had more first downs, 22-20. Total yards, actually, Seattle had more total yards than Los Angeles, 424 to 366. Time of possession went to actually Seattle by 43 seconds. Brian, who'd you have in this one and why?
In this one, I did pick the Rams. Ultimately, I felt that the Rams were getting hot at the right time, and it definitely feels like the Seahawks are getting colder. Also, with the loss of their number one receiver, I just didn't feel like, and it did kind of show that Geno wasn't going to be doing the same things. I mean, he did, like Herman said, threw for 3 yards, but he just was throwing all the time because they had to try to come back in this game to get the victory. Stafford's doing pretty good. The offense is going well. The only negative in this game is that Puka Nacua got kicked out of the game early, got ejected. Yeah. But I did pick the Rams, and I picked this one right.
Marcus, who'd you have?
I also picked the Rams. Pretty much for the same reasons Brian said. And the Rams are getting hot. Kupp and Akua were back. And it was a very good game. When overtime, man, that last drive was something. It was great. It's one of the best walk-off touchdown drives I've ever seen. McVay and Stafford, they did that perfectly. I think it was just 4 plays. Did a couple of rollouts. I think they ran 2 plays back to the same play, like back to back, and it was just perfect. So yeah, I picked the Rams, and I was right.
Yeah, we were all in accord on this one. Myself and Mark both picked the Rams. Geno turning the ball over 3 times, that was big. When you look at the stats, you could tell that was the key to everything was Geno turning the ball over. And like Brian said, the Rams they're starting to get hot a little bit. They're 4-4. They're chasing Arizona, and Arizona is not a powerhouse leading that division right now. So that NFC West is really up for grabs. And now that the Rams, they probably wouldn't have been in the hole that they're in if they hadn't lost their top 2 wide receivers to start. So now that they got them back, now's the time to start peaking. And they did this last year too. So rumbled off a bunch of wins to get to the playoffs. But I did pick the Rams, and I was correct in this one. All right, moving on to the next game. We had this was the NFC North showdown. The Lions going into Green Bay to take on the Green Bay Packers. The Lions won this one pretty handedly, honestly, 24-14. Jared Goff was 18 for 22, 145 yards passing, and 1 touchdown. David Montgomery was the leading rusher, 17 carries for 73 yards. Amon St. Brown was the leading receiver for the Browns, 7 receptions for 56 yards. On the flip side, Love, 23 for 39, 273 yards passing, and 1 interception. Jacobs was the leading rusher, 13 carries for 95 yards. And Jordan Reed was the leading receiver, 5 receptions for 113 yards. Green Bay won the first down numbers with 20-17. Time of possession went to Detroit, 31 minutes, 11 seconds to 28 minutes and 49 seconds. Green Bay gave up. I'm sorry. Yeah, Green Bay gave up no sacks, and Detroit gave up 1 sack. So I'll go first on this one, and I think we were all in accord. We all picked the Lions. I did pick the Lions. Going into this one, there was a little bit of question mark around Love, whether he was going to play or not, and if he did, how healthy he would be. I think that played a big role in this. Detroit has now won 3 in a row, I think, in Lambeau, if I'm not mistaken. Which for Detroit, they had been on the longest losing streak in Lambeau Field, but they went up there and beat Jordan Love and Green Bay. This was a good game, AFC North. We might see this again, possibly in the playoffs. I don't know. Green Bay is going to have to get it together. They're still 6-3, so they're still in a good spot. But losing to Detroit means that they got to go on the road and try to beat Detroit at home to get that game back within the division. So I did pick Detroit, and I got it right. Brian?
Yeah, like you said, Herman, we all think we're with Detroit, man. And, if you look at these offensive numbers, one team had 411 offensive yards. The other one had 261. Now, if I gave you those numbers, who do you think had what numbers?
You would have thought the winning team had the.
Yeah, you would have thought that the Lions had that type of offense, but it's actually the Packers.
Yeah.
And what really hurt the Packers, Herman was right, was you said that one interception by Love was a pick 6. And that's really what hurt. And they were kind of slow in this game. The Lions came out like gangbusters, and they kind of just coasted the rest of the way. But it was a good game, man. The Lions are for real. You got to give it up to them. So I picked the Lions. I picked it right.
Yep. And Marcus.
Yeah, I also picked the Lions. I'm drinking that blue Kool-Aid this season. And while I do have a lot of faith in Jordan Love and the Packers, I just couldn't see them beating Detroit. Detroit right now is basically a bully in the league. They just going in, they just playing smash mouth football. We all made fun of Dan Campbell when talking about biting knees when he first got hired. Man, that worked out for him pretty doggone good, because that's all he's doing is biting knees in the NFL, and they're just playing very good football. And I feel very confident with this, my Super Bowl pick.
What's kind of funny is I was going to put in the group. I wanted to change my pick to Green Bay, especially when I'd heard that the weather was going to be bad.
Mm-hmm.
I was going to put it say, can I switch my pick? But I'm glad I did.
You have been wearing the hat again.
I mean, well, y'all wouldn't have let me change it anyway. Y'all be like, no. So
yeah, we wouldn't have. I don't know though. Marcus, you said Green Bay is a bully right now. Green Bay is only bullying the NFC.
No, I'm talking about Detroit. I said Detroit.
I'm sorry. I meant Detroit's only bullying the NFC.
Well, that's what they got to bully to get into the playoffs.
I know. I'm just saying they still got.
Who they lost to?
They only lost to Tampa.
Yeah.
But they've only beat Tennessee in the AFC. Oh, and they beat Minnesota. So, yeah, they're bullying. But, again, there's still a lot of season left, Teams get hot towards the end, so we'll see. I'm still not drinking the Kool-Aid. I'm not buying it.
What?
I'm not biting kneecaps.
Man, you tripping.
I said what I said.
You are a hater.
All right, moving on. Next game. The true team of the NFC North.
This guy. You don't want to say the quarterback was worst quarterback in the league.
And
he's changed his tune since then.
That's right. The Indianapolis Colts, quarterbacked by probably one of the oldest quarterbacks in the league, went into Minnesota to take on the Minnesota Vikings. Vikings pulled out the victory on this one, 21-13. Let's see. MVP candidate Sam Darnold, 28
that
for 34.
Sound right.
It sounds great.
It sounds terrible.
28 for 34, 290 yards passing, 3 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Aaron Jones was the leading rusher, 21 carries for 64 yards. And, of course, Justin Jefferson wearing the $1 million necklace, 7 receptions for 137 yards.
You see the things in his teeth, Herman?
Yeah, bro.
He had diamonds in his teeth.
Bruh. On the flip side, Joe Flacco, old man from the couch, 16 for 27, 179 yards passing, 1 interception. Jonathan Taylor, leading rusher for the Colts, 13 carries for 48 yards. And Downs was the leading receiver, 6 receptions for 60 yards. Minnesota handedly won the first down battle with 29 first downs to 13 Indianapolis first down. Total yards, Minnesota 415 to 227. Time of possession, 36 minutes, 54 seconds to 23 minutes and 6 seconds. Sacks, Minnesota did give up 4 sacks, and the Colts gave up 3 sacks. Brian, who'd you have in this one?
And this one, I did pick the Vikings. And the Vikings, they played a very good game. They outrushed the Colts 133 yards to 68. And like Herm said, they outpassed them 282 yards to 159. One of the better stats is that they were 3 out of 5 in the red zone. The Colts were 0 for 0 in the red zone, so they didn't even make it to the red zone. So the defense played well. The offense played well. He's not an MVP yet, but he is playing pretty good. Sam Darnold, you got to give it to him.
First of all, let's not get ridiculous with it. Okay, Jared Goff has a better chance of being MVP than Sam Darnold.
I said he's not.
Okay. And let's not forget about Lamar, Derrick Henry. Sam Darnold's not getting MVP.
Stop hating on Sam Darnold, okay?
I'm not hating. But
yes, it sounds like a whole lot of hate to me.
Any quarterback for the NFC North should be getting MVP consideration. Should be Jared Goff.
Could you please play my music for yourself? Okay.
You are a hater.
I'm not a hater. I'm just telling the truth.
Well, then that's what Herman does.
Candid. Right.
You got to give it to him. And then when you watch him play, I mean, he will give you one now. He will give you one every game, but
yeah, he will.
But he's on point.
He's not beating out Goff, Lamar, or Henry for MVP.
Okay.
Could the Ravens be doing what the Ravens are doing right now without Lamar? Yes, because of Derrick Henry.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, I don't know about that either.
I don't know about that.
I believe that. Marcus, who'd you have in this game? Did you already go?
No. I took Minnesota. And I think it was pretty obvious. You know, I still think Flacco gives the Colts a better chance than Richardson does, but not in this game. Obviously, the Vikings are a better team at this point. And it's crazy on this. Look at the stats on ESPN, and they have this win probability, and it's a graph, and you can scroll through it like during different times during the game, it'll tell you who had a high chance of winning. And it's weird that at some point, I guess when the Colts were up 7-0 in the second quarter, they were up. They had a 75.3% chance of winning.
The second quarter, man.
I'm like, I don't know how they figured this thing out, but this thing is just wacky. I don't know.
Yeah,
just
that's
being up
way wacky.
I mean, if you up 7 points in the second quarter, I wanted, and you got 75% chance. You up like 2 touchdowns in the second quarter, you must got like 100% chance to win.
Yeah.
But yeah, I picked the Vikings, and I was right.
Yeah. So
I'm sorry. Did you say Mark? What Mark had? You about?
Oh, Mark. We all picked the Vikings in this one, and of course I was definitely drinking the purple Kool-Aid. I'm definitely backing MVP candidate Sam Darnold. Okay.
Nope.
The Vikings would not be doing what they're doing right now without Sam Darnold. If y'all
JJ McCarthy was looking mighty good in the preseason,
but he's
JJ McCarthy was looking
mighty. He's a rookie, and we know
that is a stretch.
Yeah, that's
not a stretch at all.
JJ McCarthy was looking mighty good in the preseason.
And if I told you that Sam Darnold would be leading the Vikings to a 6-2 record halfway through the season, and they're 4-1 at home, y'all would have thought I was on crack. Okay.
Yes, I would have.
So I did pick MVP candidate Sam Darnold and his Vikings to win and beat the Colts. You can keep saying nope all you want. Okay. But when they knock y'all out the playoffs, we're going to see about all that. Again, Justin Jefferson is a huge thing, but Justin Jefferson is an easy target. He's always open. You watch the game, the dude. I don't even know how teams let him get so open. I honestly don't. It's ridiculous. But yeah, I picked the Vikings. I don't know if I'm picking against them again this year. I'd have to go look at their schedule and see.
Hey Marcus, just for the record, Sam Darnold has 1,900 yards, which is ranked 15th. He has 17 touchdowns, which is tied for fourth. He has 7 picks, and his quarterback rating is 58.4.
And he's still an MVP candidate.
Those don't sound like MVP.
MVP candidate.
Number 13. No.
I would love to. I'd love to have looked at what you call it, at Josh Allen's stats back when y'all was calling him MVP candidate, because I know
they were very good. He
was leading the league in interceptions
awesome
at the time. He was leading the league in interceptions at the time. So
well, he's not this year. I don't think he's even thrown one yet this year.
Stop it. He hasn't.
Just saying.
One. Stop it.
Just saying. I like him, but you're doing too much.
Let's move on to the last. Now that we've discussed MVP candidate Sam Darnold, let's move on to the last game of this week, and that was the Bucs traveling into Arrowhead to take on the Chiefs. Chiefs had a scare in this one. Patrick Mahomes pulled up a little lame, a little weird, but luckily he looks like he escaped any real injury. Mahomes was 34 for 44. 291 yards passing with 3 touchdowns. Leading rusher was Kareem Hunt, 27 rushes for 106 yards, 1 touchdown. And Kelsey was the leading receiver, 14 receptions for 100 yards. On the flip side, Bakerfield, 23 for 31, 200 yards passing, 2 touchdowns. Irvin was the leading rusher, 7 carries for 24 yards. And Otten was the leading receiver, the tight end, 8 receptions for 77 yards. Kansas City had more first downs, 28-17. Kansas City had more total yards, 384 total yards to 284 total yards. And time of possession, a whopping 40 minutes and 42 seconds compared to 25 minutes and 10 seconds. I'll start this one off. Tampa Bay, they put up a good fight. You got to give them credit considering they were down their top 2 receivers. I'll say Bakerfield actually didn't go out and try to do too much. Let the game come to him. He didn't turn the ball over any. But again, it's the Chiefs. And I'm going to say this one for my cousin. You know, when you play in the Chiefs, you play in the refs also. But I did pick the Chiefs because I do believe in them winning. And, you know, even when they're struggling, the refs are going to help them out. So I picked the Chiefs and I got this one right.
You are a hater.
I'm just saying what my cousin says. You know what I'm saying? I just, you know, shout out Juan Triplet. Shout out to you and them refs for helping your Chiefs. Brian, who'd you have?
Yeah, we picked the same team. We picked the Chiefs, man. But I ain't gonna lie, man. I was very, very, very impressed. I have been impressed all year, pretty much with the way Tampa Bay fights. Man, they don't always get the victory, but they are good. I mean, he like Herman said, they have his receivers, but Baker was still out there slinging it. Man, I actually thought they had a chance to win this game. But you know, the Chiefs ended up coming out on top. But again, I am very impressed with Tampa Bay. They're a fun team to watch. So I picked this one right.
Yeah, I don't agree with people saying that they should have went for 2. I'm sure the analytics in that situation has to be to tie that game. I don't know about the going for 2 because then it's going to be a witch hunt for you if you didn't go tie the game and have a chance in overtime. So you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. I think in that situation.
Yeah, it's like a catch-22 in that particular. Yeah, if you get it, great, yeah, good. But if you don't, like Herman said, you know, you had a chance to go to overtime. So
right,
and their defense was getting winded.
But they did have something to lose. They lost the chance to go in. They would have lost the chance to go into overtime. I mean,
yeah.
And it's not like they're 1 and whatever. You know, they're 4-4 at the time. So
yeah, they're fighting for the division still.
Yeah, they're still in that run. So I think he played it the right way, in my opinion. But again, you know, everybody has their opinion on it. Marcus.
Yeah, this was a great game. Like Brian stated, Tampa Bay was definitely in this game. I really thought. You know, because I've been saying all year, you know, Kansas City isn't going to go undefeated, but I can't see who on their schedule is going to beat them. And so I certainly, for a long time during that game, thought they were going to get their first L. But I must disagree with the 2 of you. They definitely should have went for the 2. If you see the look on Baker Mayfield's face when they lost the coin toss, he knew it too. The last person You want to have the ball in their hands with a couple seconds left in the fourth quarter or in overtime to get the ball first, or the Kansas City Chiefs. But I also put this on the rules. Just like in the playoffs, you should get the ball at least once.
Not unless they score a touchdown.
No, I don't care. I think you should get the ball. At least
Yeah,
once.
I don't like it either.
You should get the ball. You should get the ball at least once.
I agree.
And so as soon as they
You realize that it defeats the purpose of the overtime rules. You
No,
might as well just go back to the original rules.
The rules are dumb.
the original rules were first
One
person
wins. Yeah.
That's not what I'm
the
talking
reason
about.
they're doing is just to not extend it so you don't have any players as long.
I don't care, man.
Y'all
They
are going to
should-
make it go longer.
It needs
Overtime's
to.
going to be forever.
It doesn't need to be forever, but they should have had a chance to get the ball. That's all I'm saying. If they don't score, fine, but they should have had a chance. And I will give it to Kansas City. Kansas City are a very good freaking team. When their defense has been carrying them all season. Defense didn't really show up this game, but then the offense finally came on point. Travis Kelce, he was a leading receiver. DeAndre Hopkins, I think he had 2 touchdowns. Mahomes almost had 300 passing yards, which he hasn't had in, I believe, in 21 games. So that's
Kareem Hunt was running.
yeah. So they have talent. They're very well coached, and one way or another they can beat you. And so I give them their props because most of that game I really thought they were going to lose, but I did pick them, and they did win.
Yeah, I agree with you, Sean. I like the college rules also. You shouldn't lose the NFL game because of a coin toss.
Yes, you should.
You should at least have a chance, and that's the problem with the whole.
You do have a chance. It's called defense.
It's stupid.
You should at least get possession of the ball at least once.
Yeah, nobody said they had to reset the clock. You're saying extend the game, make it longer. No, nobody said reset. The time limit will still be there.
Yeah, time will still be 10 minutes.
Yeah,
but you should at least have a chance to get the ball.
Yeah, you should have a chance to get the ball, to at least touch the ball.
Y'all want to go back to ties.
The game can still end in a tie, fool. It can still end in a tie.
In overtime.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay,
So
Donovan McNabb didn't know the game can end in a tie.
I do know it can end in a tie.
That wraps up our picks for the week. How'd y'all do this week?
We all did 5-1, right?
Yeah, I was 5-1.
We should have been. Yeah, we should all been 5-1. All right, let's get into this week's games that we're picking. First game this week is going to be the Cincinnati Bengals. This will be the Thursday night game going into Baltimore to take on the Baltimore Ravens. Good divisional game. We always say divisional games, anybody can win them. The Ravens are giving up 6 points on this one. Marcus, I give you this one. Who you got?
I am picking the Ravens. But I do have a feeling this could go against them. This could be a very tight game. The Bengals definitely could win, but I'm going to pick the Ravens.
Brian?
I definitely don't think it's going to be I think -6 is too much.
I don't know, Mark. The predictor is with the Ravens too hard at 70%. I don't feel like playing that hat game. I'm going with the Ravens as well.
The Ravens don't. The Ravens have no pass defense against one of the top quarterbacks in the league. So.
Yeah, and then I don't know. I'm not sure if Higgins is back this week. Ooh,
Higgins is out.
He's out. It's so tempting, Brian, because it's a divisional game. If the Bengals were at home, I think I would pick the Bengals. But since they're going into Baltimore on the road, I'm gonna go ahead and go with Baltimore too. Mark didn't give his picks. Hopefully he'll give him maybe.
Oh, well, he lone wolfed them all, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he could do that.
You took the Bengals, Mark. Took the Bengals.
All right. He probably he don't pick the Ravens either, so you never know. All right. Next game up. Oh boy, why are they torturing Germany with this one? The 2-7 Giants are going into Germany to take on the home team, 2-7 Panthers. The Giants are the favorites in this one, giving up 5 points. Gosh. I'm gonna go with the Giants in this one. I can't believe I'm picking them, but the Panthers, they've been playing better. Nah.
They have been playing better.
Yeah, but they already named that Young was going to be the starter. So give me the Giants. I mean, Daniel Jones is bad, but sometimes he shows flashes. Give me the Giants. Yeah, this is a torture game. I feel sorry for the people in Germany. Brian, who are you picking in this one?
Yeah, the predictor's going with you, Herman, with the Giants at a 50% nod. I thought about this too, Herman, and you know why I'm going with the Giants? They have a pass rush. They lead the league in sacks. That's the only reason why I'm picking the Giants. But I wanted to go with the Panthers, but I'll take the Giants. Why are you looking at me all crazy, Mark?
I didn't know he led the league in sacks.
Yep.
Marcus.
Big Martin, too.
You know, first of all, I want to say, you know, NFL talking about having Super Bowls outside the country. If you're going to do that, you're going to have to export your best teams to the overseas. Don't be sitting no bums overseas. You need to start flexing these too. I know they're playing well in advance, but I'm sure everybody in the NFL got to have a passport, or they should have it. You should be able to flex these games. Don't be sending this garbage.
You can't flex.
It's a lot to.
Don't be sending this garbage games over here overseas to represent us and think we have a Super Bowl over there. I'm going with the Giants as well. I just don't have enough faith in the Panthers, so I'm definitely going with the Giants.
Damn, Mark picked the Panthers.
All right, who you got, Mark? I'll take the Panthers. Yeah. All right, moving into the next game. This should be a good one. I'm surprised this one didn't get flexed in, but I'm sure that the channel probably wasn't going to give this one up.
Mark's going to this game.
Is he?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, the 6-2 Steelers traveling into Washington to take on the 7-2 Commanders. The Commanders are 2.5-point home favorites in this one. Brian, who you got?
Well, the predictor actually has the Commandos at 54%. But I like the Russell Wilson connection. I like the Steelers defense. Give me Pittsburgh.
Black and yellow, black and yellow, black and yellow. There's no way I'm
You are a hater.
You're right. But Jaden Daniels, meet what? give me the Steelers, baby. And we know Mark would definitely be picking the Steelers. So Marcus, cue your music.
I'm taking my Commanders. They're at home, so I'm taking my Commanders. We're going to win this game.
They're at home.
We're going to win this game. We know how important. Listen, let me tell you, we know how important this game is. The Eagles are on our ass. I want to be able to keep displaying this graphic every week. So we need to win this game, and we to keep the Eagles at bay because. We see them next week, and so we need to win this game. So Commanders.
That's gonna be 2 in a row. Ooh, it's gonna get good. I told y'all, be humble, but y'all don't listen.
I'm always humble, sir.
No, you are very not humble.
I am humble.
How are you humble with that thing behind you, sir? That's actually the exception of humble.
I'm just displaying. I'm just informing the people.
How many shows has that ever been before this season? How many seasons have you ever displayed that before, sir?
Never.
0.
Okay, thank you.
We've never been number one since we do this show.
Exactly.
And then you're in the group.
So that means you're not humble.
Right, you're not humble at
I'm
all.
just displaying facts, sir. I'm not.
You can display the facts when y'all were in the toilet bowl too, but you chose not to.
There's no commentary. I'm just displaying facts.
Okay. All
right.
I guess
Moving
our
on to the
definition of
next
humble is
game.
different.
Yeah. Moving on to the next game, we got the 5-4 Broncos going into Kansas City to take on the 8-0 Chiefs.
Mm-hmm.
Right? 8-0. Chiefs are 8.5-point favorites in this one.
God.
Yeah, easy pick. It's a divisional game. Broncos been playing pretty good, but I don't see the Chiefs. I don't see them beating the Chiefs. Give me the Chiefs. Brian, who you got?
Yeah, the predictor has them at the highest percentage of the week, 76%. I'm going with the Chiefs.
Chiefs. Marcus, we know you drink that Kool-Aid.
So, Chiefs got to lose one. Better to do it now than in the playoffs. It's a division game.
You looking like like Brian right about now.
I knew
I'm taking the Broncos. I'm taking the Broncos.
Okay.
I'm taking the Broncos. They're going to lose one. I'm taking the Broncos.
All right. Moving on to the next one. This ought to be a good one. We got the 7-1 Lions going into Houston to take on the 6-3 Texans. The Lions are 3-point favorites on the road. Brian, I'll let you start off with this one. Who you got? Oh, you can start off all of them.
The predictor's going with the Lions at 62%. I'm going with the Lions as well. I think the Lions got enough pass rush to get to CJ, and he just doesn't have the offensive weapons.
They definitely got enough pass rush.
Marcus, who you got in this one?
Yeah, I'm drinking the blue Kool-Aid all season. Every time we they're in the lineup, I'm picking the Lions. Like I said, they just signed that new defensive man, a new defensive player. So we've already established the Texans have an offensive line. They're gonna Lions gonna go in there and bully the Texans. They're gonna win this game.
Cue it up, baby. Cue it up.
Don't count if Mark put in his pick and he says the Texans.
Yeah, I know. I do not drink blue Kool-Aid.
You are a hater.
Blue Kool-Aid is not hater. The Lions have been beaten up on the NFC, but now we're going to the AFC. Give me the Texans, baby, at home. Beat the Lions. Hopefully, Mark picks the Texans. We'll see. Picks the Lions. We'll see. All right, last game of the week, Monday nighter. The 2-6 Dolphins going into LA to take on the 4-4 Rams. 4-4 Rams are 2.5-point favorites. Marcus, you can start this one off. I had Brian starting off every one, it seemed like, because he had the predictor.
I am going to take the Rams. Rams, this is the time of the season they start getting on playoff shape. They start winning games a whole lot. They're healthy. Even though the Dolphins, they did look good against the Bills, and Tua's back. They're definitely a much better team with Tua in there. I'm going to have to go ahead and pick the Rams.
So hold up. Sean's saying he picked the Texans. He picks the Chiefs. Now he's saying that the AFC is not better. What is that?
Yeah.
Pick two AFC teams. What are you talking about?
I'm saying
in the Chiefs game, he had no choice but to pick an AFC team.
But then he picked the Texans over the Lions, saying the AFC is not better. No, obviously the AFC is better if you think they're going to beat them. That's all I'm trying.
Yeah. I'm with you, Marcus. I'm going with the Rams. The Rams look like they're heating up. I believe the Rams. I think the Rams will pull out the division and actually make my NFC West pick look good. So yeah, I'm going with the Rams. Brian, who you got?
Yeah, we're on the court. Give me the Rams on this one. I just don't see the Dolphins doing it.
Who's the predictor got?
The predictor has the Rams at 56%.
56%.
That means Mark picked the Dolphins. That means Mark picked the Dolphins.
Yeah.
We got a lot of hat wearing this week, but I'm not none of them.
All right. So just to recap, Marcus did lone wolf the Steelers at the Commanders, and he also lone wolfed the Broncos at the Chiefs. So he will be wearing that hat for at least 15 minutes. I am lone wolfing the Lions at the Texans. So those are our picks for the upcoming week. Let's go ahead and get up out of here and wrap this show with our final thoughts. Brian, do you have a final thought?
My final thought is all is not lost. It's only 4 years.
What? It's only 4 years. I don't understand. What's that mean?
Herman knows exactly what I'm saying.
Yeah. Anyway. I'm not even going to touch on that topic, but I get it. I didn't get no good hate. I didn't have any good thing to hate on this week. I usually try to give a hater final thought. But yeah, my final thought, I just thought of a final thought. My final thought is that it's going to be some humble pie coming in the next 3 weeks. Marcus, give us your final thought, and you can end us out of the show.
So my final thought is, God don't like ugly. And when week after week, you talk about my quarterback getting hurt, and then your quarterback goes down on injury reserve, didn't even get hit. Just goes to tell you that you don't have to take hits to get hurt in the NFL. And at this point in the season, everybody's playing hurt anyway. So I just got one thing to say. Dak Prescott, I wish you a speedy recovery, sir. The NFL is a much better league with you in it. I hope you come back very soon and in good shape.
This dude's petty as all know what.
And also, goddamn, stop playing. Play. We will see you next week. Same bat time, same bat channel. Peace. We out.
Peace.